Hey everyone, and welcome to the Business Mindset. Today we'll be talking about why you need emergency funds. Make sure you're watching till the very end so you don't miss out on anything. An emergency fund is essentially money that's been set aside to cover any of life's unexpected events. This money will allow you to live for a few months should you happen to lose your job or if something unexpected comes up that will cost a fair chunk of money to cover. Think of it as an insurance policy. Rather than paying premiums to an insurance company, you're setting aside money for yourself that can be used at a later date. This money can then be accessed quickly and easily if some unfortunate event happens to occur. No one wants to spend their time contemplating worst-case scenarios. But if an emergency happens and you're not financially prepared, the fallout is not just super stressful, but can have some serious financial consequences. It's the most important reason you need an emergency fund. From unexpected bills to job loss, an emergency fund helps you protect your financial well-being. Here is a list of situations where you might need an emergency fund. Of course, there may be any other such situations when you might need it. In all, you should always have some money in your reserve for crisis situations. So let's get started. 1. Medical or dental bills. If you're a young person, you might think that this isn't for you. You're young, you're healthy, what can go wrong? A lot, actually. From unexpected illness or cavities to major accidents, one of the many reasons for an emergency fund is so you don't find yourself with big medical expenses and no way to pay for them. Even if you have medical or dental insurance, that doesn't guarantee you won't have to pay for all or part of your care out of pocket. In addition to deductibles, some procedures might not be covered, or you may max out your coverage for non-essential healthcare in your plan year. If you're looking for reasons why you need an emergency fund, imagine scrambling to come up with the funds to cover a medical emergency rather than taking care of yourself. 2. Home repairs. These are the typical emergency situations. Say, for example, you're sitting down on the couch to watch a movie with a big bowl of popcorn, and suddenly your toilet begins overflowing. Perfect. Not only would that ruin your evening plans, but it could break your budget since plumbing emergencies aren't cheap. This is yet another good reason why you need an emergency fund. 3. Auto repairs. Add car repairs to the list of reasons why you need an emergency fund. It's very important. Having a working car is critical for many people, especially for those without access to public transportation. If you don't have a car, you might have difficulty making it into the office on time or have to default to a taxi or an Uber, which could quickly become expensive. One common reason for an emergency fund is to cover the cost of an expensive car repair or accident. Even if your car is insured, you may still have to pay the deductible in the event of an accident, and common car repairs like new brakes, new spark plugs, or a new timing belt could set you back hundreds of dollars. 4. You're trying to pay off debt. Your emergency fund can help you stop adding to your debt with every financial bump in the road. An emergency fund can help cover the things you don't budget for, like car repairs or medical costs. Use your emergency fund to handle these stressful events and make it easier for you to stay focused on getting out of debt. It is easier to pay extra money on debt right away when you have a cushion for unexpected expenses. Include an emergency contribution in your budget until it is fully funded. 5. You just started budgeting. When you first start budgeting, you may be inadvertently leaving out some of the expenses that you need to plan for. Your emergency fund can cover some of these expenses the first year, and then you can add those expenses into your budget as they come up. This could be annual expenses like taxes or other items like gifts or fees for organizations. Your emergency fund can help you as you adjust to your budget. As unplanned expenses come up, write them down and adjust your budget to include them in the future. After a few months, you should not have any unexpected expenses. 6. You only have one income. If you only have one source of income, it is essential to have a substantial emergency fund. This can help you get through an unexpected job loss or illness that keeps the primary breadwinner from working. If you're a one-income family or you are single, you should have at least a year's worth of expenses in your emergency fund. You can build up the larger emergency fund after you get out of debt. If you're just starting a family, you may need to increase your emergency fund. If you are single, work on building up your emergency fund as quickly as possible. 7. You are self-employed or a contractor. This is one of the very solid reasons behind why you need an emergency fund. If you are self-employed, an independent contractor, or if you work a job that does not allow you to claim unemployment benefits, it is important to have a good emergency fund in place. Additionally, if you know that your contract may end soon, you should work on building up more money in your emergency fund. You may also want to plan extra savings for months when business is slow. Keep track of your invoices to make sure that you do not miss outstanding payments owed. This will help you avoid using your emergency fund. 8. You own your home. Having your own place is a great thing that many dream of, but with it also comes some cons. When you own your home, you will have to pay for all the necessary repairs and upkeep. Although you should set up a sinking fund to cover remodeling and most repairs for regular expenses, you may have unexpected costs, like a plumbing repair or air conditioning repairs, that might occur suddenly without any prior notice. Your emergency fund can help you handle these costs and make owning your home just a bit less stressful. Home repairs can be expensive, as is replacing an air conditioner or furnace. Try setting up funds to save for these expenses before they occur. Be sure to plan for your taxes in your budget. 9. You live far away from family. If you own your expenses are solely yours. Plan your finances and always keep in mind that you have to have some money aside for sudden situations. Also, it can be very expensive to travel home, and the costs go up if you need to travel at the last minute for an emergency. It helps to have a good emergency fund saved up to cover the cost of last-minute tickets to home or your other family members in the event of a medical emergency or a funeral. Price the cost of an airline ticket and other expenses and start saving up for that. Remember that last-minute bookings are often more expensive. 10. You have medical issues. Challenging as it is, you also have to keep in mind the absolute need for an emergency fund for this. A serious medical condition can cause you to max out your deductible each year. You may also have routine tests that add up quickly, or need to use all of your sick leave and end up taking days off with no pay. A well-funded emergency fund can help you deal with these costs and make it easier to get through these challenging times. Medical issues can be expensive, and insurance companies may not pay everything that you expect them to pay. You may also miss work and run out of sick pay, which can lead to bigger issues. Your emergency fund can help offset this. 11. You're saving for a goal. If you're working toward a goal like owning a home or starting a business, your emergency job can stop you from dipping into those savings when unexpected expenses crop up. This can prevent you from moving backward with these goals. Although your progress forward may slow a bit as you rebuild your emergency fund, you'll be able to leave the money that you are saving for you. This is a great way to protect your savings. An emergency fund can help you reach your long-term financial goals. Think of your emergency fund as an insurance policy against unexpected expenses. So, mainly this video talks about how an emergency fund allows you to live for a few months if you lose your job or if something unexpected comes up that costs a fair chunk of money to cover. Many banks and financial experts suggest that you should save at least 3 months' worth of salary in your emergency fund. You should use your fund during periods of unemployment, medical emergencies, paying for home repairs due to a natural disaster, emergency veterinarian bills, unforeseen vehicle repairs, etc. We hope you liked this video. While you're still here, go ahead and click on one of the videos showed on your screen. See you there.